So then, the Qatar Air Race Qatar 1812 kilometers. It's an interesting name, it's an interesting event. We ended up running for 1722.644 kilometers because of safety cars. It did run to time instead of to distance. It ran for the maximum 10 hours. Let's talk a little bit about it. I'm going to talk a bit about some of the stories from the event, as well as a couple of other comments about the experience watching it as a fan. Firstly, in terms of the drives of the day, and I think the most impressive ones are, well, as follows. I would say the number 8, who were way down at the back. They were the slowest car to set a time in qualifying, coming up to finish 5th place. That's a good job. I know 10-hour races are long races, but it is still a good job. They got ahead of the 7, who started 7th. Likewise, the 15 qualified on the front row. They managed to finish 4th. In the Hypercar, the standout has got to be Ferrari. They locked out the podium. The 50 from the 83 from the 51. It ended up being 2.7 seconds between the 3 different Ferrari cars. But well done to the 83 for holding on against the 51. It was a really nice overtake as well. The pit window paid off. It was a really nice move that Robert Kubica did that ended up being sort of the move that decided that battle in the later phase. Elsewhere, it was good to see that the 009 made it to the end. You really felt for the 007, but there were so many difficulties these cars had, right? Like one of the Valkyries had the door come off, for instance. Now, that was an issue in the pit lane, but I think in terms of Hypercar, the biggest story was the friendly fire within Haas Team Jota. The caddies were leading on one of the safety car restarts when Jenson Button backed up maybe just a little bit too much, and Alex Lynn ran to the back of him. Damage was worse to the 38, who ended up dropping a lap. They later ended up losing a total of 11 laps, whilst the 12 managed to still finish on the lead lap in 8th place, despite getting a penalty. Managed to beat both the Peugeots, for example. Now, it's one of those ones of just a mix of the way the track works, the new car for some of these drivers, first round of the season. But it's just one of those ones of, you don't hit your teammate, first rule of motorsport, right? You shouldn't have been trying to battle with your teammate on a safety car restart in the opening couple of hours of the race. We were 3 hours in when that happened. It just leads to those kinds of issues, right? In the LMGT3, and it was the Corvette that took the win in the end, ahead of United Autosports 59. And that was a really nice battle to be watching at the end of the race. That battle went all the way down to the wire. Likewise, well done by the 31, the Ben WRT, for getting the podium there as well. They did a good battle with the Akodis ASP team, which, that's also a good job, right? Like, I know that BOP is a thing, but to get the Lexus just shy of the podium, they've had rotten luck with that Lexus last year, so it's good to see them getting into the top 5, if not, just shy of a podium. Some of the drivers that had awful luck, well, Bernardo Souza, they have to stop the 77. That 77 caught fire twice. Caught fire in testing and ruined their pre-season testing. Caught fire in the race and put them out. Iron Lynx had a horrible time. Neither of the Mercedes making it to the end. The Iron Dames were the last classified of the LMGT3s as well. 36 laps down on the overall winner, 5 laps down on the class winner. But reliability was generally okay. I saw Sean Galel ended up getting the sort of Driver of the Day award for the 95. Well done by them as well. In terms of broadcast, it's very well put together. The crew are great, and some of them I've seen here, there, and everywhere in terms of motorsports and commentary. Some of the in-race interviews were good as well. Looking at the one with Rubens Barrichello in particular, they were like, "Oh, we've got guests at the event. We can pull them in for interviews or pull them into the commentary box." In the case of Barrichello, they also managed to talk to Nasser Al Attiyah, who had just come back from the win in the Abu Dhabi Desert Challenge, which I have recently reviewed on this channel as well. But apart from a couple of glitches, which tend to happen at the start of a season anyway, even if there's nothing new in terms of the platform. I mean, I'm a WRC fan. Rally Monte Carlo, it's usually how few posts are we going to see on Reddit where people are complaining about their Rally TV playing up. It's good to see that there was only one major outage, from what I remember. It's great on WEC TV to have the playback features that you can. I was able to use the player and watch a bit more passively whilst, playing Football Manager or working on stuff for my day job. It's fun to have these sorts of features available to us. The subscription is competitive compared to something like Rally TV as well. It's not the amount that I have to pay for Sky Sports just to watch the F1. Now I want to quickly talk in terms of venue and calendar. The Lusail circuit is one that has gotten more and more motorsport significance since it first popped up to the F1 calendar back in 2021. It's an interesting track. It's one that I was honestly surprised had not gone up to the top levels of motorsport particularly much outside of MotoGP, but then it is a motorcycle track. But one of the things that needs to be considered when planning events, especially events that are in the Middle East, is how the different cultural calendars fall. I mean, F1 has had that with Las Vegas. They scheduled the Las Vegas Grand Prix for what's traditionally the quietest weekend of the year in Las Vegas. F1 also does it to the Middle East around Ramadan. That's why we're seeing the calendar changes this year, where the Middle East rounds that typically start the season have been pushed back to just before the traditional start of the European leg. WEC didn't do that this time around. And as a result, the Qatar Airways, Qatar 1812 kilometers, took place on a Friday. Which is nice for some of my friends who had their Friday free to sit down and watch it. I didn't. So part of the reason why it's taken me 9 days to sit down and watch and get this review together is I wasn't able to watch it live. I mean, if I had been able to follow it more passively, I probably would have done a more in the moment review and it would have come out a week ago. Maybe 8 days. Maybe I would have done it as a Saturday video, but I was expected to have it out last Saturday originally and then pushed it back a week so that I could get a chance to actually do it. It's nice to be able to sit down and watch the World Endurance Championship, and it's proving very fun, very interesting, and slightly chaotic when it comes to my best driver rankings, because I can count nearly 170 drivers. I think it's 169 drivers at the moment. No, 168. That I'm having to rank over the course of the season. Most of them will be doing the full season. It's so fun. Slightly chaotic, but like I said, it's what I want to do. I just hope that next season they think about that when they're planning the calendar out. Especially since we've now got, even from the time you're recording this now, 6 weeks until Imola. It's nice to have the idea of one every month. But the ideal gap is going to be around the month. If not 4 weeks, maybe 3. The WRC tends to have theirs on 3-week staggers, and the closer you get for back-to-back is still an off weekend. I don't know. Those are just my thoughts, though. And on that note, do let me know yours in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching and joining, folks. If you do want to stick around for more motorsports reviews and some sim racing stuff, do hit the subscribe button. If you did enjoy this, hit the like button. Just let me know I did a good job. Till next time, it's bye for now.